Hello, YouTube friends. And I use that term friends. I always do an intro, hello friends, because I'm country, and that's just how I can always remember my brother saying that. Then I got to watching that spa guy, and he starts off his videos with friends and friends this, and it just kind of is natural for me. So I'm not trying to steal that from anybody, but it's just kind of a common Southern gentleman thing, I guess, or attention diffuser, because you don't want to walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, buddy." You can walk up and you say, "Hello, friend." You know, instantly disarming. So anyway, yesterday I was doing my video. And I got to looking at this HEMI, and that core that I showed you, it's a HEMI, but it's an older HEMI, like an 05 to 13, and that motor right there is a newer model HEMI. If you notice, the intake was changed a little bit, and the fuel rail is different, whereas this one doesn't have that platform on top, and its fuel rails are cylindrical. Okay, so right now, this morning, I ran the part numbers on the throttle body, and it comes back as an early model. It's definitely not out of a truck. It's definitely a car engine, car HEMI. But also I wanted to show you folks that's not really automotive minded to know how a HEMI or any engine works. Okay, how not how it works, but how the air gets sucked in. Okay. When you hit the gas pedal, used to there was a linkage and a wire that would pull from here to your foot, and your foot opened this flapper, okay? And that's what your foot used to do. Your foot was how deep your foot went was how far this opened. Early days it was a carburetor, but with throttle bodies, you know, but they still had a linkage in the early days. Then in the early 90s or so, they went to this electronic. Everything's what you call fly-by-wire. When you hit the gas, it's a sensor, like on a fuel gauge, how it rubs up and down the metal, and that's how you know how much fuel you got, because that thing's moving up and down. Same thing on your foot. When you push, it's... Anyway, I had too much air on this one. So what happens is when you hit the gas, the electrical signal opens this, makes that valve open. Air goes in. No fuel's been mixed to it. Just pure air's going in. Alright? From suction, from when you turn the key over, even before the engine starts, it's creating a suction, a vacuum. Okay? And so when you hit the gas, this opens. Alright? So we're going to flip this intake over, because the fuel's coming in through these. These are called fuel rails. And these are your injectors. Okay? Now, where a HEMI's unique, and a lot of, I've seen Fords have 2 plugs per cylinder, so it's not a HEMI thing. But you only got this one injector. I've seen them with twin injectors, but on a HEMI, on this one, it's got a single injector. Fuel comes through this rail from the fuel tank, down through here, into here, and look how thick. That's big gas, like in a hose in there. All right, then it goes into here, and electronically, a little squirter. And you're about to see how it goes from this big fuel traveling down a hose into this injector, and we're going to flip the intake over, shall we? Now, pardon the mess. It's got carbon buildup and blowback because it's a timing issue. You're still going to get pre-ignition. You see the carbon, and that's not inside the combustion chamber. You know what I mean? That's just gunk. That's what you call gunk, people. All right. So right here, you see the injector. Fuel goes in it. And this is electrically operated, okay? So same thing, the computer's reading the air temperature in the air, the humidity, and you've hit the gas and it sucked the air in. And the air's in this intake. It's getting swirled around inside this, it's got little baffles inside of it, and it's swirling around like a tornado. Alright? So this is where the air and the fuel mixes before it gets to the cylinder. Actually, it happens at the same time that the cylinder's open. I mean, it's all a timing issue. It happens at the right time. So it comes through here, out the injector, and then there's the injector squirter. You can see now different injectors have a different amount of hose, but this one's got little 4 squirters. There's different pound injectors, pounds of pressure. So the fuel gets squirted out of here, a little mist, like when you sneeze, you don't even see it, just molecular. It goes from thick liquid gas until molecular gas, squirted out, mixed with all that. Look at the volume difference. volume of air versus fuel. So right here it gets mixed. Squirts, air gets mixed, and right here is the cylinder head, okay? So it goes right into the combustion chamber, and boom. And this has happened not at the same time on every one, but it's a timing thing. Like it's boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's crazy how an engine works, and they figured this out back in the early 1900s, okay? And they didn't even have the right fuel yet. I mean, this is before they had standardized fuel. I mean, how they ever figured out how to time an engine, I'll never understand. I mean, and I ain't talking about fine timing. I'm talking about just the basic firing order. But yeah, there's your injector. Goes from big fat liquid gas to through here, electrically shot, and mixed with the air, and comes out them little squirters, just like a little squirter. Squirty, squirt, squirt. Mixes with air, and then boom, right down here would be about where the combustion chamber, and it would just be a massive explosion. But they're all happening at different times, you know. If it all happened at one time, it'd blow the motor apart. But that's the whole gimmick about an engine, you know. It's just this one fires, this one, and like I said, it ain't this firing, it's in the combustion chamber. This is a very early stage of the engine running, but you gotta have it. This is where the air meets the fuel. And this is not a HEMI thing. This is on pretty much any engine. And like I said, look at the volume of air versus the little teeny tiny squirters right there. I mean, we're talking about molecular. I like that word, molecular. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out exactly what this came out of, because like I've showed you before, if you don't write the number on the part, or if you don't write this stock number on it on the part when it comes off the car, then you don't know where it comes from once it leaves the parent. You know, it'd be like a kid leaving its parent and never being named or told who his daddy was. You know, you'd never know. So I don't know who this one's daddy is. So I'm trying to figure it out, but it don't talk and it don't tell me. So I'm just trying to go by cues it's giving off. And then I take the part numbers I find and I run them. Because like the throttle body part number was this right here, so I ran it, and this gave me a basic rundown, because this is a new throttle body, and it gave me a basic rundown of what all it fit. That gets me going. I mean, there's multiple avenues, but to be quick, I've learned trustworthy sources. Sometimes, I mean, like anything, you learn as you go. But there you go. Sometimes inventory guy's job is a lot of detective work, because this intake's probably $150, $200 intake. Throttle body ain't worth really nothing. Then I'll mess with these, and don't even get me started on HEMI coil on plugs, twin plugs per cylinder. I mean, that's crazy. If you want to talk about firing orders, figure that one out when you throw another whole 8 into the mix. So yeah, a day in the life of your new YouTube friend. Y'all have a good one. Till the next time.